Hi, thanks for working out with me today. We're going through a reformer workout. You will need your Pilates box. You'll also need to have your foot bar in the up position, 2 heavy red springs on, and 1 medium blue. So 2 heavy reds, 1 medium blue, and all you'll need is your Pilates box. We're actually going to come over here to the foot bar side of the machine and start. You'll have your feet right in line with your sitting bones. So if you were to draw a line from the front bones, so the ASIS, which is in the front, you're going to be lining all the way down to the knees and all the way down to the ankles. So you have those legs nice and aligned. And then if you take some attention into your feet, I want you to spread your toes. Now our feet are our base of support. And the bigger base of support we have, the more we're going to be able to maneuver ourselves through life, and we'll be able to prevent falls. So we want to really be grounded through our feet. I've got my ball of my big toe, my ball of my baby toe, and the ball of my heel really rooted down into the ground. Now from that rooted down into the ground, I'm going to lengthen through my whole spine. In the opposite part of that is my head reaching to the ceiling. I'm nice and long. Good. So I'm standing here with my feet, the tripod of my feet rooting down, with my length of my spine reaching me up, and just reach for that bar. So you should be about a hand's distance from the bar. We're going to squat and press the weight back more into the heels. You can actually hold the bar for a little counterweight. Feel that weight go back into your hips, back into your heels. You're holding with the strength of your legs. You still have your spine long, and then come right back up to standing. We'll do that several more times. You hold onto the bar. Now make sure that your bar, everyone should be able to hold onto the bar in this position, I'm hoping. Your bar is kind of a locked position. And then you come right back up. Good. So we're going down. And if you do not have the bar to hold on to, if this isn't working for you, you can just move into just regular squats, down and up. Good. The bar is just giving us a little support so we can go a little bit deeper into that bend, and we can push the weight a little farther back into our heels. So we're going back, and then you're coming right back up. Doing that just a few more times, going back. This is probably one of the most important movements you can do if we're talking about strong seniors, because as we get older, we want to make sure that we have mobility, and that ability to go from sitting to standing is one of the most important things we can do. So this is mimicking our sitting position, and then we're driving through the legs to stand. So we've got to keep those legs strong enough that we can bring ourselves up. Now hold your next one down and just do little pulses, back an inch, up an inch, back an inch, up an inch. Again, you are holding on with those hands, and that's going to help you be able to pull your weight back into your hips and go a little deeper into that squat. Good. You're going to go for 3 and 2 and 1. Come all the way up and rise onto the toes. Now you're only rooting through the big toe ball of the foot and the baby toe ball of the foot. Lower your heels back down. Rise right up into those toes and lower the heels back down. Now if you would like to start challenging your balance, you can close your eyes. You do have your hands supporting you on the foot bar, and you're just lifting and lowering the heels. With the eyes closed, you have to rely a lot more on your other senses. So again, it's a really great way to challenge your balance, as long as you're in a safe position where you've got something you can hold on to. So I've got those eyes closed, and I'm just lifting and lowering my heels, challenging my balance. And again, if you don't want to lower or have the eyes closed, you can definitely have the eyes open. Go 2 more times, lifting and lowering the heels. And then I would like for you to hold your heels up the next time. Keep your heels lifted, hold onto the bar tight, and bend your knees to go down. Lower your heels and straighten your legs to come up. Again, you'll lift your heels. You go down, keeping the heels lifted. You lower the heels, you come right back up. Lift the heels, press the weight back. Lower the heels, straighten the legs up. Lift the heels, press it back. Lower the heels, send your body long. One more time, lift the heels, lower the hips. Lower the heels, lift the hips. Now reverse it. Go down into your squat. Your heels are low. Lift your heels when you get there, and then rise up nice and tall to the ceiling. Lower your heels. Bend your knees, you go back. You lift your heels and rise on up. You lower your heels and go back into your squat. Good. And if you would like, you could always have the eyes closed because we're in a very safe position where you're holding on to the foot bar for your balance to make that more of a challenge for your proprioception. Two more here. And one more. Now we're going to keep the heels down and go into your squat and hold. Keep holding the bar with your left arm. Reach the arm over the head and rotate it to the back of the room. Bring it forward and switch. Your left arm goes over the head, you rotate it back. You bring it forward and switch. Keep sinking down into those hips, working that isometric, which means we're not moving, but our legs are on fire. Working those leg muscles. Getting that strength through your hamstrings, glutes, quadriceps. Everything is having to hold you here as you get that little movement through your torso. We'll go for 4. Keep sinking the legs low. If you need a break, you take one. 2 more. Keep sinking low. Last one. And then let's stand all the way up, and you can kind of shake those legs out. Okay, remember we have 2 heavy red springs and a medium blue spring. We're going to lay down for some single leg footwork. So I want you to go ahead and lay onto your back. Your headrest can be up or down, your choice. I want you to start on your heels, right in line with your sitting bones, and then take your right leg and lift it into tabletop. Your tailbone's heavy, your spine is in a neutral position. You'll start pushing out with the left leg, resisting back in. Now essentially all of that we did standing was kind of our double leg footwork. We just did it in a standing position so that gravity was something we were having to work against. Now we'll be working single leg work, but laying down. So it's a little bit easier. We don't have gravity, but we're working a heavier weight and doing one leg at a time. Good. You still have that same alignment as we're always working. Hip bone, knee bone, ankle, all in a line. Good. This will be your last one, pushing out, and then I want you to come halfway in and do little pulses. Just an inch in and an inch out. Feel your ribs drawing in. Feel your corset drawing in. Take your time. Nice and slow pulses for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Go out all the way. Come back in and switch. Your right heel is on, your left leg's in tabletop. Flex your right foot and start to push out all the way with the right. Resist it back in. Push out all the way with the right. Resist it in. I am on 2 heavy red springs and 1 medium blue spring. Depending on your weight, your body type, your strength level, this might be too much. I don't want you having to muscle around and get your form in a bad position trying to push the weight. So please listen to your body and come to a weight that maybe feels better. Sometimes I do this on 2 reds and a yellow, which would be a little less than 2 reds and a blue. Now come halfway in and do little pulses. 1 inch out, 1 inch out. Nice work. Nice and easy breathing. You've got 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. You'll go out all the way to finish. Come back in and release. Let's slide to the toes and do a little V position. Your heels are together under the bar. Your tailbone's still heavy. You're still rooted down through the shoulders, kind of resting into the carriage. Lift your right leg into tabletop. You're turned out this time. Let's push out with the left leg. Resist back in. Now this is going to be a little more challenge because we're in this turned out position. You're focusing on the smaller muscles on the side of the bottom. If it is too challenging, change your weight. I'm on 2 heavy reds and a blue. You can also be on 2 heavy reds and a yellow, which would be a light. Good. The blue is a medium. Good. Working on keeping your pelvis nice and still as you go in and out. 2 more, then we'll do our pulses again. Let's come halfway in, hold it, and do little pulses. Lifting your left heel really high, rooting through. Remember the big toe ball of the foot, the baby toe ball of the foot is now on the bar, and the heel is lifted. 3, 2, 1. Go out all the way till your leg is straight. Come in and switch. Put the right foot down. Bring your left leg. They're in turned out position. Your left leg's in tabletop. You'll push out with your right leg and resist it in that turned out. Now the ball of the big toe, the ball of the baby toe are connected to the bar and the heel is lifted. Nice work. Use a breath that works for you. I like to inhale to push and exhale to come in. But the breath is a tool for you to use, not a rule that you have to follow. Do what feels good. After 1 more, come to a halfway point and do little pulses. 1 inch. See if you can control the carriage, moving the carriage with your muscles, not momentum. Go for 3, 2, 1. Go out all the way to finish. Come back in. Let's slide back to parallel. I'm going to have you take your right foot to the gray surface on the ball of the foot, and your left foot is on the foot bar on your heel. We'll do a kind of a staggered stance bridge. You're going to push into your left and right foot and lift your hips. Lower back down. Now I'm trying to put a little more weight in that left leg and use my right leg as more of an assistant, and my left leg is doing the majority of the lift, which you'll see in a minute because we're going to get rid of that right leg altogether as an option. Good. Doing 3 more of these bridges, again focusing on the large muscles in the back of the body. And 2. When you're up in your bridge the next time, you're going to stay there. Take your right foot, lift it, and tap the bar, and then tap it back down. So this not only is going to start to work the left glute a little more, but it's also kind of working your proprioception of where your body is in space. So you're getting an understanding without using your eyes of where the foot bar is that you can tap and where that wood surface is that you can tap. And it's just a little tapping motion up and down. And of course, there's a lot of work here on the left. Go for 3. Go for 2. And go for 1. Good. Let's come down and switch. Put your right heel on the bar. Put your left toes on the wood surface. And we'll again put most of the weight in the right leg as you lift. And then lower down. I'm hinging my bridge up, which means I'm lifting from my pubic bone. I'm lowering from my tailbone. Good. Nice work. We're going to go for 3 more again, lifting and lowering. Even though it's a staggered stance, we're trying to keep our hips square. After your third one, you'll stay in your bridge. Now put all of the weight in the right leg. Your left leg's going to tap the foot bar, tap the gray surface. Tap the foot bar, tap the gray surface. As you're doing these little taps, you're trying to keep your hips really still and stable, working on the proprioception of our mind, knowing where that foot bar is and where the gray surface is without using our eyes. 2 more. 1 more. And release. Let's go ahead and release ourselves down. Give yourself a little hug and rock side to side. Good. So it's just as important to work our brain in Pilates as it is to work our body. Let's come up and change our weight. I want you to lay back down once we change our weight though. So we're going to come up. I do have some clients when they come up, they might feel a little lightheaded. So take your time. If you need to take a little second, pause and then come back. But we're going to change ourselves to 1 heavy red and 1 medium blue spring, taking the heavy red off. So you should have 1 heavy red and 1 medium blue. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and lay right back down. So this time we'll be a little bit away from the shoulder block so you have a little bit of room there. You're going to reach for the straps and put them in your hands. Send your arms to the ceiling, but then kind of plug your shoulders down in towards the carriage. So we don't have our arms really high. You have your shoulders into the carriage and your elbows just slightly soft. Bring your right leg and then your left leg to tabletop and squeeze them. Now if this is too much for this position, pull your knees in a little bit, which will take the pressure off of the back if you're feeling any back discomfort. Make sure that your hands are right in line with your shoulders so you're keeping a lot of activity. You already feel the abs hopefully working. You're going to keep all the weight in your left hand and just let the right arm go out to a T and then bring it back and switch. So notice my carriage is not moving as I go from side to side. This is actually a great exercise to challenge your obliques, those diagonal ab muscles, because one arm is holding the weight as the other arm goes slack to the side, and then the opposite arm is holding as the other arm goes slack to the side. You can continue this motion working on just the arms moving. If you would like a little more challenge, we're going to add the leg. So the next time your right arm goes out, shoot your right leg long and then bring it in. And when your left arm goes out, shoot your left leg long and bring it in. Good. I love to do a lot of unilateral work because it helps work our brain when one side is doing something and the other side's doing something different. There's a lot that's happening to make that happen in your head. So we're using our brain, connecting our brain with our body, with our breath. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Come back into our regular position in the beginning, and then I want you to pull the arms down to the mat. Resist the arms back to the ceiling. Pull the arms down to the mat. Resist. We'll stay in tabletop for this one and start to add a head lift if it feels appropriate for you. So nod your chin. When the arms pull down, you will lift your head, look right towards your navel, and then lower your head when your arms go back to the ceiling. If you are not feeling comfortable with this head lift, you can definitely keep your head down. But if you are lifting your head, I want you looking right towards your belly button to make sure as you lift, you're getting high enough that you are not looking to the ceiling and tweaking your neck. So you've got to get the weight of the head over your body versus behind you. Three more to go. And 2. One more. Now we're going to try to hold the head up only if it feels comfortable. Hold the arms by the mat. Keep looking toward your navel and bend your arms for a tricep. Push and press your arms straight. You can also do this with the head down. You're bending the elbows and then you're pushing the arms back to the mat. Remember, your leg positions could be in tabletop. That is the most challenging position that we're in right now, or you can bring your legs in if you're feeling discomfort. You can always cross your ankles as an option to make this a little easier too. 3 and 2 and 1. Great work. Let's lower the head, put the straps back onto the pegs, and put the feet down onto the foot bar. Grab your pegs with your hands and slide your feet wide on the foot bar. Let both knees go to the right, and then windshield both knees to the left. And just keep doing that side to side, giving your back a little stretch. So with your lower body, you're going from side to side in a windshield motion, windshield wiper motion. And with your upper body, you're just gently pulling your pegs apart to get a stretch through your chest. Just going from side to side. Nice work. After one more right and left, you'll give yourself a little hug and get ready to come up. So you'll pull the knees into the chest and give yourself a little hug to stretch that low back even more. And let's come up. Okay, we're going to roll to the side. You will need your box now, so I'm going to walk over and grab that box. The box is going to go on short box, but I want it closer to the foot bar. So you would have about a 3 or 4 inches of the carriage showing, and then the box is there. The weight we're going to work on is a yellow spring at the top position. So my standard position, yellow, and then I've got my top button, which just makes the yellow a little more challenging. We're going to be sitting on the box with your right side closest to the foot bar. You can either sit with your legs out in front of the small side of the box, or if it's okay for your legs, you'll be sitting in almost like a little mermaid position on the box. Pick up the strap that's in front of you on the left side, put it in your left hand. That left hand's going to go right by your ear, and we're sitting really tall. The right hand goes to the side of the box. Take an inhale to get ready, and then we're going to lean towards the foot bar and punch that arm over the head. Come right back up to where we started. Good. So you're leaning towards the foot bar and then coming right back up. If the yellow at the high position just feels like a little too much effort, then put it on the regular yellow position. So we'd be on the light spring. So we're at the lightest position. It's not about doing as much weight as you can possibly do and kind of muscling through it. It's about finding a weight that works for you so you can get a full range of motion through the muscle, but you're challenged. You don't want to be over-challenged where you're not working good form. Good. Do that 2 more times. And then we'll do 1 more time. Good. Now I want you to put the strap in the right hand, and the left hand can just be resting by your thigh. You're going to draw the sword with the right arm, and then lean. The left hand can go to the shoulder block. As you lean and let the strap pull you, come all the way home and rest the arms, stack your spine up. You'll go again, drawing the sword, leaning to the tower, getting a big lateral stretch, and then releasing the arm and stacking up. So it is so important, which is what I love so much about Pilates, that we move our spine in every direction to keep the spine healthy. So we're flexing our spine. We've done our lateral flexion, which means to the side. When we were laying down, we did flexion. And we're going to be working extension in just a moment. And rotation. So all the ways that we can move our spine, and we want to try to do that every day in some way or another to keep our spine healthy. Good. After this last one, we will come up and take the little loop. Now, if you don't have a little loop, you're just using the loop you have. I'm just using the little so it's a little shorter and a little more challenge. Put the little loop on your upper arm, your bicep of that right arm, and bring your hands to prayer. Sit as tall as you can. Let the strap pull you to the left, and then twist it back to the center. So this is an abdominal twist. A rotation again of the spine. So again, moving the spine in a new direction. Rotating now left and rotating center. Now what I'm hoping is happening is not much is happening in my hips. They're glued in cement. And this movement is coming from my rib cage. Good. 3 and 2. One more full twist and then hold it to the left. You're holding to the left and doing a pulse a little to the right, back to the left. Now traditionally we do this more towards the right pulse, but we're just doing a different variation, letting the strap pull you left and then resisting it back to the right. 2 more and 1 more. Good. Keep the strap in the same position. Just turn your body to face the tower with your feet onto the carriage. Now the strap's going to go more to the forearm. We're sitting really tall, ribs drawing in, sternum lifted, abs engaged. You're opening that right arm out to the side like a goalpost and then closing it. It's an open out to the right and a resist closed. Open to the right and resist close. Good. Now it's single arm work, so if this is too much on that yellow at the top, you can make sure that your light spring, which is for me a yellow spring, is at the regular position. We're going to keep doing the same motion, but let's use our core a little more and twist our torso. When you pull, twist it back. So all of these exercises we're doing are strengthening our back body, our posture muscles. It's so important that we have those muscles very strong because as we get older, we start to round forward. Our chest gets very tight, our back gets very weak, and then all of a sudden we've lost a few inches and we're really concave in our body and forward flexed. So we want to shine bright and stand tall. Good. Do 1 more, and then we'll put the strap in your hand. I'm using the longer loop. My left hand's going to be on the box, kind of supporting me by the hip. My right hand's going to do a bicep curl and punch over the head. Kind of get used to that bicep curl punch because we're going to add a little extension with your upper back, which means when you go over the head, you're just going to lean a little bit back and let that lean come from the middle of your back. So you're just extending your spine, looking up, and then releasing back. Good. 3 more to go. And 2. and 1. Good work. Pick up both of your straps and cross them, either grabbing up onto the strap or the tape. I'm going to grab as high up on my strap as I can. Elbows right into your sides, palms face each other. I'm going to bring my legs completely together. Externally rotate your forearms and then bring them back. What that means is your elbows are staying glued into your sides of your waist and you're opening at the forearm. And you can also just check your wrist out, make sure that you're not bending the wrist in either direction. You're keeping your wrists really straight. Your ribs are in, your abs are in, your spine is long. You can even squeeze your legs together for more. Again, focusing still on that back body. I like to do almost a 2-to-1 ratio of back to chest, so we're really focusing on getting strong in our back and stretching through our chest. When your arms are open the next time, pause. See if you can punch your arms to the sides of the room, then come in and then rotate. So you rotate open, you punch, you pull your elbows in, you rotate closed. Rotate, punch, come in and close. Rotate, punch, come in and close. 2 more. And 1 more. Good work. Uncross your straps and let's put the left little loop on the right forearm. We're going to do the second side in reverse, which is good for our brain, and we'll still get all the muscles working. So I want you to open that left arm out to the side and resist it back. Opening out and resist. My knees are squeezing together. Kind of in the opposite direction. There's some exercises that'll be in the opposite direction, but some of them will be. Anyway, we're starting this way versus the side. 2 more. Now let's start to turn our torso, rotating your spine to the left, and then I want you to rotate it back. Rotate left, rotate back. So hopefully you're feeling that shift now, that the movement is coming from your core and from your spine. 2 more. And last 1. Good. Now let's put that strap in your left hand, the longer loop. Your right hand's beside the box. You're going to do a bicep curl, punch over the head. Bicep curl, punch over the head. This is where you can add that little extension, leaning back if it feels comfortable for you. Good work. Three. And 2. And 1. Nice job. Put the strap in your right hand and then turn towards the left side, either sitting in a mermaid position or with your legs in front of you on the small side of the box. Right hand is by the ear, left hand by the box. Sit really tall to start, and then we'll lean to the foot bar as you punch your right arm over the head. Come right back up. Now, if you need the support, your left hand can actually come to the carriage. That way you're going over, you know how far you're going, and you can use that left hand to support you. If not, the left hand can just be hovering in space. Try to get your full range of motion through that entire right side. 2 to go. And 1 more. Good. Let's put the strap in your left arm, right hand by the right thigh. I want you to draw the sword with your left arm. Lean towards the tower, bring your right hand to the shoulder block, big circle, and then release the arms, stack the spine. So you draw your sword first, then you lean to the tower, Get a big circle, big stretch, release the arm, stack the spine. Draw the sword, lean to the right, release the arm, and repeat. So this whole series has been about mobility in the spine, moving our spine in every direction, but also about strengthening our back body and strengthening our arms. The next segment we're going to be doing is standing balance work, which is another really important thing that we want to keep working on as we age. Last two. And one more. Good work. Okay, let's take the strap. You have the little loop. You're going to put it on the upper arm of the left. Again, if you don't have the little loop, you're just using whatever loop you have. Bring your hands to your heart. You can feel that strap starting to pull you over to the right as you sit really tall. Now let it pull you a little bit, twisting your torso right, and then use your abs to pull it back to the center. I'm doing a little rotation of my torso right, and then rotating back to the center. Sitting as tall as I can, lengthening through the crown of my head, lengthening through my spine. Do that 3 more times, twisting right, pulling back left. 2 more times. And then the next time you're to the right, we're going to stay to the right and do little pulses, an inch to the left and back, an inch to the left and back. Again, you're not using momentum, you're using your muscles, so it's a controlled little pulse. Good. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, let's put that strap away. And we'll remove the box. We will be using the box in a little bit, so let's just put it off where it's handy to the side. Change your weight to 1 heavy spring. For me, that is a red spring, and I'm taking the yellow off. Now you can see my machine's kind of high, so I put a moon box beside me. I'm going to be standing on the moon box, and that way when I put my left foot up against the shoulder block, my hips aren't hiked. I have square hips. So I have a red spring on. Hands can be on the foot bar. You're hinging forward with a straight, long spine. Start pushing back with the left leg and back in. Now, if you do not need your hands for balance, you can bring your hands to your hips. Remember in the very beginning of class where we worked on that tripod of the foot, that's where this becomes very important. You're spreading your toes. You're creating that solid base of support. You've got the ball of the big foot, the ball of the baby foot, and the heel equally pushing down into the floor. 2 more presses, and then 1 more. Come halfway and hold and do a little round of pulses. Just an inch. Going for 3, 2, 1. Go out all the way to finish. Come back in. Hold the foot bar for sure. Take your left leg off the carriage and shoot it to the tower. We're doing a standing balance exercise. Hold a foot bar as option 1. Option 2, the right arm goes out to a letter T. Option 3, the left arm goes out to a letter T, and you're going to find a balance. Now we have played around with the closing of the eyes. You can take that same playing around of closing of the eyes and just see what happens. Make sure you're holding on if you feel unsteady. 3, 2, and 1. Put your hands down if they're anywhere else. Put your left foot up against the shoulder block. This time turn your toes out to the side. If you're on the taller side of things, you can put the foot on the opposite shoulder block. So we're either on the opposite or same shoulder block, and you're pushing out and back in more of a turned out position. Hands can be on the foot bar, but I have the weight light enough that I want you to start to challenge yourself, maybe with the hands on the hips. So this whole segment is not only about strengthening the glutes and your legs, it's about working your balance And I love to work balance in every one of my classes. In my in-person classes, the majority of my clients are in their 50s and 60s. And we do balance every single day. We pretty much do all the workouts that I do on my online, with the exception of a lot of standing up on the carriage. But balance is key. We've got to work balance every day. 2 more. And 1 more. Good. Let's come in. Second little balance exercise. You're going to take your left toes on the carriage in a turned out position and stand up. So this is kind of a modified yoga tree position. The toes can stay on the carriage, or you can bring them onto the leg on the inner thigh, or just not on the knee, just somewhere that's not on the knee. You can kind of push that leg in. Can you have the foot bar there if you need it? If not, your hands are to your heart. And we're working another balance here. Option to close the eyes. That's a huge challenge to close the eyes, so you might just do it for a second. Good work. Go for 3 and 2 and 1. Really great job. Let's take our leg down, put the knee onto the carriage, and change your weight. We're going to a medium blue spring for the last one on this side. I have 1 medium blue spring. I want you to lift your left leg but straighten it. Your left leg's going to be straight the entire time for this one. We're going to start to work a little bit of flexibility through the chest, so I want you to reach those arms up and over the head if you can. We're in a little bit of an extension. You'll bend the right leg to go back, straighten the right leg to come in. If that's too much, the hands can be down for sure for balance. But we're going to be starting to work a little bit of back extension to get some openness through the heart. If your balance is okay with it, again, we're challenging our balance. Arms can stay up to the ceiling. So you go back, your arms are going to bend. When you come in, your arms are going to straighten. You go back, you bend your elbows. You come in and straighten your elbows. So think of that curling of your middle back, like you're taking your chest up to the ceiling. Good work. And if this is too much, again, you're holding on and just working the balance where you need to. Just getting another little movement in the back to stretch the chest. 2 more. And do 1 more. Good. Put your hands down if they're up. Set your left knee down and push into a little lunge stretch. So we're getting a little stretch for that hip flexor and really for the whole front of the body, which, as we talked about, as we get older, the front of the body gets tighter and the back of the body gets weaker. So we want to strengthen the back, stretch the front. All right, let's come in. Speaking of stretching the front, we're going to come back to the center, feet up against the shoulder blocks, go to a heavy red spring, take your medium blue spring off. I have 1 heavy red. We're going to do a little chest stretch by bringing your elbows to the foot bar, hands in prayer position, and then just pushing your chest down towards the carriage. So I'm going to really push my hands together in prayer, push my elbows into the foot bar, and drop down into my chest. So this will be a really nice chest stretch. It's also a good lat stretch, helping to work again on our posture. We'll just hold this nice, easy breathing while you're holding the stretch. If it's not working for your legs in that position, you can always scoot your feet back. So if that's too much on your knees, you can kind of scoot your feet back on the headrest, so it's not as big of a knee bend. We're not really worried about the knee bend here. It's more about the chest stretch. So if your feet need to be back a little bit, that is totally fine. I actually feel a bigger stretch with my feet back here. Good. And then we'll come in a little bit and take the hands off the foot bar. All right, take those hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, roll your shoulders back, lift your sternum, and give yourself another chest stretch. Now make sure you're not arching your back and dumping into your low back. You want to keep your tail tucked under, your abs drawing in, and you're lengthening up and opening the chest here. Good. And then we'll release. We should already be on that heavy red spring ready for the second side. Put your left foot on the floor, or in my case that moon box, and lift your right knee off the carriage. Find your straight line from the head to the tailbone. Spread your left toes and root through the big toe, baby toe, and heel. Put as little weight in the foot bar as you can and start pushing out and in with that right leg. Now I'm going to challenge myself a little bit more and put both hands on my hips, but you do what works best for you. Good. You've got 3 and 2. After one more, we'll come halfway in and hold and do little pulses. 1 inch in, 1 inch in. Go for 3 and 2 and 1. Go out all the way to finish. Come back in. Hands on the foot bar. Lift your right leg and reach the right leg behind you. We're doing that balance position again. Option 1, both hands on the foot bar. More challenge, left arm to a T. More challenge, right arm to a T. Try to really open up your toes and root down through the big toe ball, baby toe ball, and heel. Maybe closing the eyes if you want a little extra challenge. Energize through that back leg and through your arms and through the crown of the head for 3, 2, 1. Hands down, foot down. This time we're going to turn the foot out more for the side of the bottom. And if you're taller like me, you can go on to the opposite shoulder block. Upright as much as you can, as little weight on the hands as you can. Start pushing out and in, out and in. So I'm going to try to put my hands on my hips and really challenge my balance. And if you're feeling your left leg, you're in good company. That is what we're working as far as stability. We're getting some strength in this left stabilizing glute. Good. 3, 2. Go one more time out and then come halfway in, little pulses. Little pulses. 3 and 2 and 1. Go out to finish and come in. Okay, second set of balance. Your right foot is on the carriage with your knee and toes facing the right. You're in kind of this modified tree position from yoga. Hands on the hips or hands to the heart. For more challenge, you actually lift the right foot, bring it on the inside of the right little calf. You can go a little low, below the knee. Or for more challenge, you're going to go above the knee. Just don't be pushing right into the knee. So above the knee or below the knee. And we're going to hold your balance. Option to start to work on closing the eyes to challenge your balance even more. All those muscles in my left ankle are working hard. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hands down, knee down. Change it to the blue spring. For me, that is a medium spring. Last set, your right leg's going to be straight this time. And we're going to work a little extension by bringing the arms over the head, only if you feel stable. Arms reaching long, bend your left leg, and straighten your left leg. Good. Just get used to that bending and straightening. When you bend your leg is when you're going to bend your arms and open your heart to the ceiling. And when you straighten your leg is when you will straighten your arms. Good. Keep those abdominals engaged and try not to dump into your low back. So you're not arching the low back. You're trying to open the middle back. Good work. 3 and 2. 1 more. Really nice job. Let's put the hands down, knee down, and push into the stretch. Again, we're working on stretching the front of the body. And I'm actually very actively pushing my knee down into the carriage to give my hip flexor a big, big release. Let's come back up. Put on a heavy red spring and take off your medium blue spring. Come back to the center, and you're going to bring your feet, again, they can go back onto the headrest, or you can have them against the shoulder blocks. We're going to do that second round of the chest stretch. Your elbows are going to go onto the foot bar, and you'll drop your chest down. Your palms are pushing together. Again, we're just getting that nice big length, letting gravity help us stretch. And then carefully you'll come up, take those hands behind your back, come to high kneeling, interlace the fingers, and just press the sternum forward. Soft bend at your elbow, just lifting your sternum up, rolling the shoulders back, opening through the heart, getting that big stretch through your chest. And then you'll release. Good. Kind of shake those arms out a little bit. Let's put on a medium blue spring in addition to your heavy red spring. You should have 1 medium blue, 1 heavy red. Let's lay down and put our feet in straps. So once you are all the way down onto your back, you can have your headrest up if you'd like. I'm going to keep mine down, putting the straps on your feet. Straps are on the feet, and then your legs are going to go out to about a 45-degree angle. Now, I like the straps more towards the heel, not on the heel, but more towards the heel versus the ball of the foot. Arms reaching to the sides. Make a little heels together, toes apart position, and squeeze those legs together with intensity. I want you to bend your knees into a little frog, and then push and press the legs away. Squeeze your legs together. Bend your legs into a frog, and then push and press away. Squeeze your legs together. See how much you can pull your muscles in towards your bones. Really strong legs. I know feet in straps can be a really good stretch, but it's actually a lot of intensity with feet in straps. You're working a lot of strength and flexibility all at the same time in your legs. Good. 2 more here. And 1 more. I'm thinking my box might be in my way for circles. I'm going to have to keep them small. Bring your feet back to parallel. You're going to go up and then right back down. And we're going up. Feel that stretch in the back of the legs. And then push through the legs and press down. Going up and resisting back down. 2 more. And 1 more. When you go down, hold it at the bottom, open the legs wide, and come up and around and back together. You go down with your legs together, open out and around, bring them back together. Going down, open out and around and up. 3, and 2. 1 more in this direction. And when you get to the center, let's go ahead and reverse a little bit more of a challenge, but we're going to open first. pull down and together, and then come up the middle. Open, pull down and together, come up the middle. Last 3. And 2. And 1 more. When your legs are up, just go ahead and grab for the tape. Hold the tape, bend your right knee in towards you, and then with your left arm, pull that tape towards you to stretch through that left hamstring. So your right leg is bent and you're using the tape to pull that left leg towards you to release the back of the leg. Release and switch. Your left leg is bent. You're going to pull that right leg towards you to release the back of your right leg. Feel that right hamstring release. And then release, straighten both legs, pull both straps to you to feel the back of both hamstrings release. And then release. Bring the knees wide, soles of the feet together into a little butterfly stretch. Take your straps again or the tape and pull the straps or tape towards you to give your low back a stretch. You can also have your elbows on the insides of the knees to press out for a deeper stretch. And I love to rock side to side, so I just kind of automatically started to do it. So if you want to rock side to side, giving your back a little massage, you can do that as well. And then we're going to take the straps off, put your straps back onto your pegs, pull your knees into the chest for a little hug. And let's make our way up. So I want you to roll yourself all the way up and sit with your feet on the floor. So sit up tall on those sitting bones. Take your chin and just drop it down to your chest, giving the back of a neck a nice little stretch. You can even take the hands and give a little pull to stretch the back of the neck. Don't overdo it with your neck, just a little bit of weight, pushing those hands into the back of the head to stretch through your neck. Then release the hands, come up and look up. Take the right ear, drop it to the right shoulder. You can extend the left arm out for a little bigger stretch. And again, with a little light pressure, your right hand can come to the side of the head, and you can gently pull the head down to let your right ear go closer towards your right shoulder. Feeling that release through the entire side of your left side of your neck. Release that pressure. Take your chin and just drop it down to your chest. And then lift it back up. And then come to the center. Left hand comes in. Your left ear is going over to your left shoulder. Your right arm reaches out to the side. And for a bigger stretch, the left hand can come onto the head and just gently pull, bringing the left ear closer to the left shoulder. My neck seems really tight. I feel like I should be doing this more often. This is a really, really great release. And then the left arm can release. You'll bring your right chin down to your chest. Take a little stretch. And bring it back to the center. And come up. Good. Take your legs wide. Kneel, or not kneel, sit really tall with the crown of the head reaching up. And then, just like we just did, draw the chin to the chest. But this time, start to roll your whole spine off of an imaginary wall behind you. And just let gravity give your back a little stretch. And again, I just like to lean side to side, really whatever feels good for your back, just giving your back a little release, letting gravity start to decompress your spine a little bit. You can take your hands behind your head and gently give your neck a little pull, encouraging your head to go down closer towards the floor. Only if that feels comfortable for you. And then one vertebrae at a time, we're going to slowly start to stack our spine up, that imaginary wall behind you, stacking up, 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 until you're sitting all the way up nice and tall. Good, and we are done. Thank you so much for working out with me. I hope you have a great day, and I will work out with you soon.